Billionaires, they have access to everything money can buy. Houses, private jets, cars, islands, everything. Well, everything except these properties. Because even having more money than some small nations sometimes isn't enough to snag you these mansions. So buckle in as we dive into it. Here are the mansions that even billionaires can't afford. By the way, if you like videos like this and would love to see more like it, then go ahead and give us a like and subscribe below. Let's start with the Ellison Estate. Located in Woodside, California, this jaw-dropping masterpiece belongs to none other than tech mogul Larry Ellison. This 23-acre estate is basically a love letter to 16th century Japan. I'm not kidding, it looks like someone plucked an elegant Japanese village right out of history and plopped it down in Silicon Valley. We're talking 10 separate buildings, mud-covered walls, wooden beams that somehow came together without nails. And the amenities include a man-made lake, a tea house, a bathhouse, and a koi pond. Honestly, it sounds like the perfect escape from the chaotic grind of Silicon Valley, or whatever chaos a billionaire needs escaping from. Now, let's talk price. The Ellison Estate costs over $200 million to build. Yep, 200. And you'd think, oh, once you buy it, it's all good, right? Nope. The upkeep on those sprawling gardens and intricate Japanese structures probably costs more than most people make in a lifetime. Like, imagine hiring someone to rake the garden daily, or feed the koi the right kind of artisanal fish food. Your wallet would be in tears. And if that wasn't enough, here's another interesting piece of information. The whole thing was custom built for Larry Ellison himself. So even if you somehow scraped together the cash to buy it, you'd need to share his very specific taste to fully vibe with the place. Otherwise, you'd just be that person sitting at a $200 million estate, wondering why you're surrounded by tea houses and not like a home theater. So yeah, while billionaires often splurge on ridiculously expensive things, a lot of them wisely stayed away from this one. And then we jet back to Los Angeles, where we find The One, the modern-day castle that had everyone talking not too long ago. Nestled in the ultra-exclusive Bel Air neighborhood, this mega mansion was once hyped as the pinnacle of luxury and extravagance. How much was it worth? Oh, just a casual $500 million. Clocking in at a jaw-dropping 105,000 square feet, The One was basically built on the philosophy of go big or don't even bother showing up. Let's break it down. 21 bedrooms, 42 bathrooms, 30-car garage, in case your guest pulls up in a convoy of Lamborghinis, a nightclub, a wellness spa to recover from all those late-night parties, a home theater, bowling alley, and a 10,000-bottle wine cellar. And that's just the main house. There's still a separate 3-bedroom guest house with its own infinity pool, because heaven forbid your guests use the same amenities as you. Now, let's talk about the master bedroom. It's a casual 5,500 square feet with its own private terrace, swimming pool, and whirlpool, all with sweeping views of Los Angeles. Oh, and if that wasn't enough, the entire estate is surrounded by a moat. A moat, like medieval castle style. Now, owning this beast isn't exactly a walk in the park. Maintenance alone could drain even a billionaire's bank account, and good luck selling it. Finding someone who both has the cash and wants to deal with all that space isn't exactly a walk in the park. For all its glam and glitz, The One was a financial disaster. The project faced delay after delay, ran wildly over budget, and got tangled in legal drama. Eventually, it was auctioned off for $141 million, a tiny fraction of its $500 million price tag. Imagine paying $141 million on a discount. At the end of the day, The One is an example of how bigger isn't always better. Sometimes it's just a headache with a moat. And then there's Villa Leopolda, nestled in the French Riviera, land of croissants, clear blue waters, and as it would seem, ridiculously expensive real estate. We're talking about a mansion so lavish that even billionaires might need to double check their wallets before making an offer. With a jaw-dropping price tag of $750 million, this estate isn't just a house, it's a status symbol, a history book, and an ongoing expense report rolled into one. Sitting pretty on 50 acres of prime land overlooking the Mediterranean Sea, Villa Leopolda was originally built by King Leopold II of Belgium. And unless you've got royalty level money or own half a country, this place is probably not in your Zillow save searches. But let's dream for a second. The villa comes with 11 bedrooms, 14 bathrooms, a commercial greenhouse, a helipad, and an outdoor kitchen, and one of the most beautiful swimming pools on the planet. And get this, Villa Leopolda isn't just some bougie place for people who have too much money, it's historic. It started as a summer retreat for King Leopold II and has since been passed down through a string of ridiculously wealthy owners, including Lily Safra, widow of Lebanese-Brazilian banker Edmond Safra. Let's talk about the gardens. Oh, you thought your little collection was fancy? This place has 50 gardeners who work full-time to keep the grounds looking like something out of a fairy tale. Exotic plants, rare flowers. In fact, let's just say your low-maintenance dreams stop at the front gate. Inside, it's just as insane. Think luxurious furnishings, intricate woodwork, and art that you probably need a PhD to fully appreciate. It's even got a Hollywood claim to fame, starring in Alfred Hitchcock's To Catch a Thief in 1955. Owning this place is like living in a museum, except you get to touch everything, as long as you've got staff to clean up after you. But let's not sugarcoat it. Villa Leopolda is work. Running this estate is like managing a small country. You'll need staff for the gardens, housekeepers for the interior, and security to keep out paparazzi and nosy tourists, and maybe an accountant to help you cry over maintenance bills. Oh, and don't even think about renovations. Zoning and building regulations on the French Riviera make it a logistical nightmare. Bottom line, owning Villa Leopolda is like getting a gold-plated elephant. It's impressive, but it also might bankrupt you. Then we get to the Astana Nur al-Iman, or the Light of Faith Palace. Built in the early 80s and designed by the famous architect Leandro Luxin, this palace spans 2,152,782 square feet. And this is no shack on a hill, it's royalty we're talking about here. Details about this palace remain hush-hush, but we know it has 1,788 bedrooms. Apparently, royal sleepovers take up many rooms. And don't even get me started on the 5 pools there for some reason, or the air-conditioned stable, which can hold 200 horses. So where is this gigantic palace? Bandar Seri Begawan, the capital of Brunei, right by the Brunei River. And thankfully so, because owning and running a $1.5 billion palace in America for the average billionaire would require clearing their bank accounts, their kids' college fund, and selling their properties. Next stop is Mumbai, India, home to Antilia, the jaw-dropping skyscraper owned by Mukesh Ambani, India's richest man and chairman of Reliance Industries. And this baby is valued at $2 billion. Yeah, even Jeff Bezos might need to check his bank account twice before signing up for this one. Standing 27 stories tall and stretching across 400,000 square feet, Antilia isn't just a house, it's basically a vertical city. And it has everything you didn't know you needed and a few things you'll never understand needing, like 3 helipads. And let's talk about the snow room. Yes, in the middle of hot, bustling Mumbai, there's a room that literally pumps out artificial snow. Why? Probably because being rich means you don't have to wait for December to have your hallmark winter moment. Now, let's not forget the 6 floors of car parking. 6. That's more parking than most malls have. And when it's movie night, there's a 50-seat theater, so Ambani and his squad can watch Fast and the Furious on the big screen without dealing with anyone chewing popcorn too loudly. This architectural marvel was brought to life by Chicago-based Perkins & Will, with interiors designed by H.H. Bednar Associates. And let's just say, they did not hold back. Each floor has a different theme, because why would you want one consistent vibe when you can have 27? Marble, crystal, and precious metals everywhere, with hanging gardens and terraces with breathtaking views of Mumbai. And let's talk maintenance. Keeping this place in tip-top shape requires a staff of 600 people. Yep, 600 humans are out here dusting, cleaning, and probably polishing the snowflakes in that snow room. And don't even start on the security. This place is guarded like it houses the crown jewels. I mean, if you're spending $2 billion on a house, you want to make sure no one's walking off with your golden doorknobs. And then we arrive at the crown jewel of our list, Buckingham Palace. Yep, we're talking about that iconic residence in the heart of London. If you've ever daydreamed about owning a mansion that could make even Elon Musk break a sweat, this one's your golden ticket. But let's start with the numbers. This royal crib is valued at a jaw-dropping $4.9 billion. Yes, billion with a B. Buckingham Palace boasts 775 rooms, including 52 royal and guest bedrooms, 78 bathrooms, and 19 staterooms for official ceremonies and tea parties. This place isn't just a house, it's a historical masterpiece. Originally built as a humble townhouse for the Duke of Buckingham in the 1700s, it was scooped up by King George III in 1761 and eventually transformed into a royal residence by King George IV. Since then, it's been the spot for the British royal family to make history, and some seriously dramatic Netflix series plotlines. The inside is just as extra as you'd imagine. Rooms dripping in priceless art, antique furniture, and let's not forget the 40-acre garden. It's not just a backyard, it's a small country tucked into central London. Imagine needing a golf cart to fetch your mail. Owning Buckingham Palace isn't just a flex, it's a financial black hole. Maintaining a place like this is a full-time job for a small army. Heating, plumbing, electrical systems, none of it's cheap, especially when you're working with a building older than America. And you've got to clock in regular repairs and renovations because you're not patching up that leaky roof with duct tape. And the kicker, you can't just slap this beauty on Zillow. Buckingham Palace isn't for sale, which is probably the best because the property tax alone would make most billionaires clutch their wallets. And there you have it. Mentions that even the richest of the rich would think twice before buying. But hey, at least they can still admire them on postcards like the rest of us do, right?